Former boss disputed work history 6 months after I left, so I blew up his phone with spam. A few years ago, I was working at this corporate job when my grandfather died. We were really close. Like, he taught me how to fish, took me to baseball games, called me every Sunday just to talk. When he passed, I needed to fly to Florida for the funeral and help my grandma with his estate. I went to my manager Brad and asked to use emergency PTO. He said no. So I asked to go on FMLA, which is that family leave thing where they have to let you take time off. He said no again because apparently grandparents don't count as immediate family, only parents and kids. I told him I had to go anyway. The funeral was in 3 days and my grandma needed help going through paperwork and all that stuff. Brad looked me dead in the eye and said, if you leave, you're fired. I left anyway because what else was I supposed to do? Miss my own grandfather's funeral? They terminated me on July 31st. Then Brad had the nerve to offer me 2 weeks of severance pay if I signed all these legal papers. An NDA, a gag order, some indemnity thing. Basically, I couldn't sue them or tell anyone they sucked or write bad reviews online. I told him to shove it. I wasn't signing anything. I put on my LinkedIn that I worked there from my start date through the beginning of August, since that's when the whole conversation happened. But they officially dated my termination as July 31st for some benefits reason or whatever. Life moved on. I got a new job. My wife and I had a baby. I basically forgot Brad even existed. Then it's January, 6 months later. I'm up at like 4 in the morning with my 6-week-old daughter who won't stop crying. I'm exhausted, covered in spit up, just trying to function. I check my phone and see that Brad viewed my LinkedIn profile. I was confused because why is this guy looking at my profile half a year after firing me? Then a few minutes later, I get an email from LinkedIn. Your employment history is being disputed. Brad reported my profile because I said I worked through August 1st instead of July 31st. One day. He disputed one single day of employment. LinkedIn didn't even let me fight it. They just deleted the entire company from my work history. Not just the dates, the whole thing. Years of experience gone. And when I tried to add it back, it wouldn't be verified anymore because you need a company email to verify, and obviously I didn't have that anymore. I was sitting there in my living room at 4 a.m. holding my crying baby, staring at this email, and something in my brain just snapped. This guy fired me for going to my grandfather's funeral, offered me hush money, and now 6 months later he's stalking my LinkedIn and messing with my work history over one day? I still had Brad's cell phone number saved in my phone from when we used to text about work stuff. I also found his home address online and his personal email. It took like 5 minutes. Then I went to work. I signed him up for every spam mailing list I could find. Car warranties, insurance quotes, political campaigns, weird product newsletters, everything. But that wasn't enough. I went to every real estate website in his area and filled out the contact form saying I was looking to buy a house for $800,000 and needed an agent immediately. I put Brad's phone number and both his emails. Then I did the same thing with moving companies. Said I was moving across the country and needed quotes for packing up a 4-bedroom house. That's the kind of lead that makes real estate agents and moving companies lose their minds. They start calling within minutes. I hit submit on the last form and just smiled. My old coworker Amy still worked in Brad's department. She texted me later that day saying Brad's phone was going insane. Both his work phone and his personal cell were ringing nonstop. Real estate agents, moving companies, insurance people, all of them. The best part is Brad's job was client-facing. He had to answer his phone because he never knew if it was an actual client calling, so he couldn't just ignore it. He was stuck answering call after call from people asking about his house search and his big move. Amy said it went on for days. Every time she walked past his office, she could hear him on the phone going, "No, I'm not moving. I don't know how you got this number. Please stop calling me." I don't know if he ever figured out it was me, but those calls started exactly 1 hour after he reported my LinkedIn. The timing was perfect.